Yeah, we don't dialogue a lot on all that stuff. I mean, the whole thing that I think we're focused. I mean, that's the whole thing. You just got to be focused. You got to be focused on getting better. Um, you know, and I felt like we're doing that, and you just got to just not have distractions, and um, just continue to focus and have a passion every day to get better fundamentally, and I think we're doing that. So you just got to and have a short memory. Move on to the next deal, and um, uh, on the same hand, man, I tell them have fun, man. This is fun. It's a lot of fun, uh, especially when things are going well and you're winning. So, and then um, I talked to him about your whole life. You've been a football player most of your life, and I know this. I know getting to coach in games like this Saturday and like the last few games here are man, that's what it's all about. So enjoy it too. Enjoy that, and I think our guys are really close. This is a really close football team. Um, we don't say it. They don't say a whole lot, but I liked how they did everything exactly like we wanted them to do it all week. And when you invest all week, that's what makes it happen. It's not, the deal is that if you're getting distracted and talking about this and talking about all this stuff, then you can be distracted from what you're doing, and that's everybody, coaches, players, everybody. We just got to keep our head down and understand how difficult it is in this league to be successful, and just keep getting better. But I'm proud. I'm proud of where we're at, and we haven't accomplished anything. We just got to go figure out how to get another win. I think it's gotten better. I think that was our big focus in the off week was to was improve fundamentally in our tackling, and we thought there were some things that we could work on, and I think we're getting better. I think we've gotten better every week and every day, every rep as a football team, and we just got to continue to do that because anything we've done at this point is not good enough to get where we want to be. It just I look at it differently. You have the what I call it the non-conference or preseason games, and we want to win every game. But once that's over with, it's over with. I forget about that and go. I said this the other day. I really think that um, uh, the lost my truck. I got a guy fixed to get fined here coming in late. The What was I saying? I think that what were we talking about? Yeah, we're 3-1, right? I think that's what we are. The conference is that what we are? And once you've lost one, you can't lose anymore. So the way I look at that is differently. So the key is getting better every week and figuring out how to win the next game. And you want to win all the non-conference games and all that, but the key, our goal is to be Pac-12 champions. And so to do that, you got to get better every week, and I think we've done that. And I don't really behind the scenes. I mean, we're just grinding, just working. I love it. I mean, I love coming to work every day, and I think our players really love each other and care about each other, and we're a very close group. And I think tough people come out of tough times. The point I was going to make before I got off track there was this. In 2013, which I know, we played a tough schedule. It was a tough schedule. We had played Wisconsin. I think we wound up getting beat by Notre Dame around sixth or game or something like that. I don't know. But, man, we played a hard schedule. We think we've played a hard schedule. And I think we've been and we've kind of been through it. I like that we've had it. We've been through the. That's kind of what we were talking about yesterday. Just talking about that we've been through the hard times. and I think it builds character, and I think it builds toughness. And I think you get to a point where you realize what it takes sacrifice-wise to get there, and these guys have done it. So I think that's kind of behind the scenes. Is I think there's a lot of confidence building with our guys because we've just kept our head down. We haven't, just kept plugging, kept getting better, whether it be coaches, players, whatever. And we got a good football team, and I think we're confident in that. So that's kind of what I feel is that, there's such a fine line between winning and losing. It's amazing to me, but it's awesome. I love it. I mean, I love getting to do this, and I think it'd be a sold out crowd this week. I encourage people to get their tickets as quickly as possible, and I hope we do everything we can to have as many people without violating the fire code. So.
Is it validating of the culture in light of last couple seasons haven't gone the way you wanted, this season didn't start out the way you wanted, you guys still kind of buying in and digging in?
Yeah, I don't think we validated anything. We haven't done anything. I mean, we go win the next 8 games, and we validated ourselves. I'm not really thinking about that. I just love to compete, and I'm having fun. I'm having fun with it. I mean, it's just a fun deal to be associated with, especially when you've been through kind of the muck and you've had as much. Because I'm telling you, you guys know how I feel about change. It's not something we don't change anything. I mean, we don't change. The times are all the same. Coach Cassidy, everything's exactly the same. If it was up to me, we wouldn't have but a home and away uniform. We wouldn't have. It was up to me, but it's not up to me. Obviously, I don't play, and I'm not a recruit, so we're going to have a few more uniforms. But so you got to be smart too. You can't be stupid. But I just I think that. I don't know. I think you can overanalyze all that stuff. I think I'm just having fun, man. I'm having fun coaching. I'm loving developing this group. I think we have a very. I love the humility of our players and our coaches, and just how we working together. It's been fun, man. I mean, it's fun working. Whereas we have interaction between our offense and defensive staffs, offense and defensive coordinators. I've worked with basically consult with them on both sides of football. It's just been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun working, and then to see it, it's nothing like teaching and seeing kids get it, and our players deserve all the credit because they're the ones that have the investment. And I do think the fact that we've been here and we haven't compromised our values and we have a culture is the reason why it's producing discipline, and it's why we're getting better. Expect AJ to play. He wasn't able to practice last week, and I think we made a smart decision not trying to get him to play, and so I expect him to be back. I expect. I think you'd have a hard time keeping him off the field, but obviously too, you got to practice too. So we'll see how that goes. We're pretty healthy. Other than that, we other than bumps and bruises and things like that. But I expect Jalen Harvey to play. I expect AJ to. Who else is there? Doug. Steve is fine. Yep. I always go out there and tell them they're fine. I'll let them know when they're hurt. Kyle's good to go. Well, I think one of the things one of the reasons, every person that I hire, I want to hire good men that believe in the teacher model. That's first and foremost. And that means you got to love your kids, man. You got to love this. You got to have a passion for it, and you got to be a guy that embraces our philosophy first and foremost. And then having a guy that I have such a long history with. One of the things I knew about Phil is he taught me back in the, when I was in my early 20s, secondary play. And I used to go to a clinic called the San Angelo Football Clinic, and Wade Phillips and Emory Ballard and R.C. Slocum, Phil Bennett, and I sat in rooms listening to those guys, and Tommy Tuberville and guys like that, So Phil was a guy that I learned. So I knew he was a great developer of defensive backs, and so we knew that we were going to have a large turnover as far as some by design and some by not by design, but we knew we needed to have dramatic changes in personnel in the secondary, and he's the best I know at developing DBs. And the way he and I work together is it's just been, the defensive staff, how he came in and how he works with myself, with Coach Patterson, and obviously we brought Coach Slater on, and then Coach Slocum, he's been around Sean his whole life. So, and then obviously with TJ, the way there was no getting to know each other. There was no there was none of that. I mean, it was just, man, I love how he does it, and I've also felt like that his personality was similar to what mine is, and I didn't. We can't reinvent what we recruited kids to be here. We have to adapt to them, just like we've adapted this year to the guys we have back there. Because I think they're all new. I don't know if any of them started last year. I think maybe Chad might have started one game or something, and so that's what's been very successful. And what's been nice too, Coach Napier, we're working together. Like when we game plan, we're game planning together. During the game, we're communicating together, much like, because before it was just me and Mike. And so we communicated. And I mean, Mike is the executor to my will. I mean, so we were pretty close. And so we didn't have to, there was none of that stuff that you have, I think, in other situations. And so hiring Phil has been great. And then the way he is, Billy's a coach's kid. Billy's been in really good programs, and Billy's a teacher. And how Phil not only helps us defensively, but he interacts with our offensive staff as well. And just the way it's just not, we haven't had to go through all the you got new people kind of deal, and I think that's helped a great deal. And so we talk about, hey man, if we could put up, if you think about it, just between me and Phil, we got 70 years, coaching defense. So if we'll just put our heads together and really adapt to our players and do this and stay true to what we know we should do, then eventually we just keep getting better, keep our head down, and we'll start playing well. So I think that's been good, and then moving forward, that's the key. The key is continuity and having that, keeping those things in place, especially when it comes to teaching. It's like if you have a teacher in math and you have them for half the semester and then they leave, it's a kind of it affects people. So. I think that's what I was just talking about, is that people think that you just want to win games, and so one of the things, this is 2017. So in 2017, as we evolve and we see what our strengths and weaknesses are, we've game planned to that, and that's something. Snaps is what is the most important thing. So it was 70 to 65. That's 15 more snaps. So we had 15 more snaps than Utah had, and I think that gives us a better chance to win. And the time of possession is not, it's not always true, but I like that stat. I'd like to be there the rest of the way, but I mean, because it says that you're making first downs and you're doing some things right. So, but when you also too, it's a little bit different sometimes, because our personality of our team's been a little bit different. When you're a high point scoring team, then you have to kind of adapt to what you're doing. But that's what I think we're doing a good job, is we are evolving and we're adapting. And how you do that is you stay focused and you stay humble. That's how you do that. really, I think Jamarcus is having a great year. He's another guy that, I mean, just has gotten better every week and continued to getting better in how he presents. He's our strong safety, and just with his stems, his disguises, just being a smart player, being a complete player. He is really growing, and he's just scratched the surface on how good I think he can be. He's really done a good job. I'll do that after every time we win. Always. Have the whole time I've been here. I gave that was there's about I think we have, how many game balls? We have like six or so. I always give one to our to Jim, our band director, for them, and then I always throw one in the stands, and then for the Washington game I gave one to Dr. Crow. I always do that. I don't know. I think I've just done that here. Is there something wrong with that? Is that illegal or something? No, I don't know. It's just my way of saying, man, I appreciate you. I've always done that here. I used to have these different kind of tops they'd give you, and so I would throw those up there too. I mean, yeah. I think I've been doing that the whole time I've been here. Yeah. My way of saying I appreciate the crowd. That's it. And, huh? I don't know about that, but I know this. I love winning, and so we like to celebrate a little bit, and that's how we do it. Just like I said, I mean, I went into when you go into this business. I mean, you got to understand. I started off coaching 7th grade football, 30 years ago, whatever that is. Man, I'm a competitor. I don't expect anybody to be happy about or support mediocrity, and so I take responsibility. That's how I dealt with it, and. On the same hand, I got confidence and belief in what we're doing. I know we're doing things the right way, and sometimes our society is one that we want things sometimes to come easy, and sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. And you get knocked on your can. Sometimes you get back up, but if you're doing things the right way, and we do have a plan. And you reap what you sow. And on the same hand, you can do everything right, Doug, and still not win, still not be successful. So I don't. It's hard. I'm not lying to you. I mean, it's hard on my family. It's hard on, but on the same hand, man, it's a blessing to get to do this. Yeah, the rewards that my son gets to be around these young men that I get to coach that are champions. I mean, I'm so he's blessed to get to do that, and my wife's blessed to get to be a part of their lives, and so there's give and take in that. But on the same hand, I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, nobody more disappointed than I was, and frustrated, and too, I think that I wasn't doing a very good job. So you're going to get criticism when that happens, and what you do is you roll your sleeve up and you go to work. But if you're doing things the right way, you reap what you sow, is what I believe, and you keep plugging. So I don't. They have every right. This is their team. I tell our players right before they take the field, give them what they want. And matter of fact, if you've heard me in the locker room, I'll say, hey, who do you play for? And it's who I coach for. Those people in the stands. That's who pays my salary. So I don't blame them one bit. On the same hand, I don't want to. I want to win. I'm a competitor. No one has higher expectations than I do. So, it's not fun, but it's just, you just gotta. It's also I've been doing this for a while. I mean, I've been doing it for quite some time, and and in my life, the way I've learned things. I mean, what kind of example would I be if that, if I teach these kids every day to get up off the ground, and persevere through things. So, are you kidding me? Really? I mean, the blessing I have to get to do this. It's amazing that there's an occupation that you get to do this and get paid for it. So I'm pretty blessed. I don't have any. I'm thankful they have high expectations, and that's something that I've wanted ever since I've been here. When I first got here, Coach Cassidy used to be on me about, because I was trying to drive expectations up, because I truly mean what I say. I come here, and our mission is to build young men that are champions in life. But on the same hand, I want to win a Pac-12 championship. I want to stand on that stage and hoist that trophy up. I want to do the same thing. I watch it all the time. Matter of fact, in my locker room where I dress, I have a picture of the Rose Bowl champion stadium from 1987, and I look at that every day. I want to win. I want. Those are things, are goals of ours to do, and obviously the Rose Bowl is something that is very, very important to our fan base and important to this place. And when I meet those guys, man, I see their rings, I kind of rub them, and I'd like to have one of those. So with that comes expectations. So I don't have a problem with expectations. I wouldn't want to be anywhere that was not very, very unhappy about mediocrity. And he's got his one, I think he's tough. I think he is very smart. His arm talent is phenomenal. He's strong. He's hard to bring down. He's a guy that you got to have a really solid plan for, because he can hurt you. He extends plays. He can really, really damage you. So you gotta have a solid plan for that. He's got, thing about USC, obviously the best skill players that we're going to play all year long. They're very, very talented. They're the most talented football team we'll play in the same lines as Washington and probably SC are probably the two most talented teams just physically. So he's got some really great running back, and he's got great receivers, and that's the strength of their team, is their offense. Yeah, I think so. I think he's a great rhythm passer. He gets the ball off on timing, and so there's challenges with that. But he throws really well on the move, sprint out. Where I think he's the most dangerous is when he is scrambling. He stays alive with his eyes downfield, and like he made a throw to the tight end in the Utah game that was like, wow. The one, I don't know if he's going in, it's about from the 20-something yard line, and I mean he's running around, and then he just goes, almost like he's going this way, he throws it that way, like probably 30 yards on a dime, and there's two defenders right there. I mean he can throw into the small windows. And he's really good at, he can be leaning one way and throwing the other, and so he's pretty special. I have. Obviously the most important thing to me is what we're celebrating that week, and that's the people that put their life on the line and sacrifice for us every day, that we can do this game like we do it, and so that's it. It's a big honor for me. Obviously I think there's so few pay the price for so many in this country, and sometimes I don't think we I know sometimes I think we take that for granted. So that'd be a special deal, obviously recognizing great Sun Devil Pat Tillman and all the people that serve and defend our great country.